Hi guys! Today I want to tell you about some of the prettiest makeup brushes you ever did see. That is the Real Techniques Bold Metals brushes, and I have them in a wine glass. They're so fancy. This is just from the Target dollar spot, and you know I was using it for wine too, but now I've repurposed it as a brush holder. So these are the Bold Metals brushes. They come in metal colors. So there's gold, silver, and the ever popular rose gold. These are in addition to the Real Techniques regular line, which look like these. So I'm going to tell you guys if I think these are worth the higher price tag, because they are much more expensive than the OG Real Technique brushes. Which ones I think are great, which ones I think you can pass on, etc., etc. So if you want to hear my thoughts on the Real Techniques Bold Metals brushes, just keep watching. So first things first, I love Real Techniques. I think their original brushes, their original brushes that look like this, these are some of the very best affordable brush options out there. I recently did a favorite face brushes post, and a lot of the brushes in that post are Real Techniques, and that's for a good reason. You'll find these in a lot of pro makeup artist kits, including my own, because they're just that good. Now they've kind of stepped it up and they've created some brushes that are much more luxurious looking, which are the Bold Metals brushes. They are a much higher price point, so let's go through them. This is the 100 or arched powder brush. This is retails for $21, so it's not nearly as affordable as their other brush line. We'll be comparing this brush to the powder brush from their original line. And I will look up the price in a moment, but I mean, this is probably under $10, so quite a bit more expensive. Now, these bristles are synthetic, just like all of the other Real Techniques brushes. The handle, however, is going to feel a lot more different to you. So it's got a tapered shape, and these are weighted handles, so they're supposed to feel more comfortable in your hand. You know, I don't notice a ton of difference, but they are heavier, feel more substantial, so that is definitely more of a luxe feel. This is probably one of my favorites from the Bold Metals line for applying powder, and I like to use it in like a tapping motion to just apply loose setting powder. The bristles are extremely soft, and I really like this brush. Do I like it better than this one? You know, this is a different shape, so this is a little more tapered. It's a little more flat from the side, more of a paddle brush shape. So I do like that for pressing powder in more. It does a better job of that than the powder brush, which is definitely more of a dome shaped head, more rounded, and that's great for quicker, just like we're buffing all over a powder. So I think you're going to like this just as well, although I do like this for more precise powder placement. All right, the next brush we are going to be talking about is the 300 or tapered blush brush. This one retails for $19. This is a rose gold one, so of course I think a lot of us were drawn to it for that reason. Again, it's got the light colored synthetic bristles, but they have a slight, I don't know if you can tell, a slight pink hue at the very base. Now these bristles are white, which means that they are going to show color. That is something that may or may not bother you, but they are definitely the almost too pretty, you don't want to use them type brushes. Now this is one I don't use a lot for blush because I just don't feel like it's a great shape for blush. It's got this tapered shape. It's pretty much a smaller version of that powder brush. And while you can very precisely place blush color here, it doesn't look very good. You're gonna have to blend it out quite a bit, and this isn't really a great brush for blending. What I think this brush would be better suited to is more maybe highlight placement or setting under eye powder. However, for $19, I think you could find a different brush that does those purposes better. I much prefer their original blush brush. This is just called their blush brush. I love this so much. It's got this tapered cut bristles in a dome shape. I think this is very comparable in shape and product disbursement. Is that a word? Very comparable to the NARS version that looks like this. I don't have it. I can't think of what it's called right now. But it's a great blush brush. I love the size of it. It's perfect for dotting color on the cheeks, but then diffusing it out. So if you are wanting to get a Real Techniques blush brush and you're between these two, I would tell you to go for the original one here. You're gonna save a lot of money and you're gonna be a lot happier with your blush application. Now I have a silver brush. This is their 201 Pointed Crease. This retails for $13, so it's one of the more affordable ones. That's probably why I bought it. So this brush is an odd one for me. This is too dense to be a crease brush. The bristles don't have enough flex. If I applied this to my crease, it would leave a pretty hard line, and then I'd still have to go back in with another brush to soften it out. I don't use this as a crease brush ever. What I have used this for, because of its precise kind of tapered little shape, I've used it to dot concealer on blemishes. Something happened to this last night that is actually going to make me tell you not to buy this brush. So I had to really scrub it into my Sigma Spa mat to get it clean. So when I did that, I noticed it was actually pushing the bristles further up inside of here. So then I tried pulling them back out, and I don't know if you can tell, I can pull out every single thing right now. I can pull all these bristles out if I want to. So I don't think this is very durable. Just the shape of it, because it's so dense, you are gonna have to clean it that way, and then you're gonna push the bristles up further, and then they're gonna need pulled back out, and my gosh, look how far I'm pulling this out. Like, I should not be able to pull the bristles out of this. Okay, I'm gonna quit messing. So the next one is the 102 Triangle Concealer Brush. This one is the one I was most excited about, because I really do like to place my concealer on the eye area with the brush, and then I blend it out with a beauty blender. And with this triangular shape, I was like, that's gonna be really great for getting like right up under there. However, this brush, it's not as useful as I thought. So I'm looking it up on Ulta right now. It does not have very good reviews. I have some people that have told me that it's just way too stiff. I do like my concealer brush to be stiff to place the concealer, but it's not very forgiving. You know, it just isn't as useful as I thought it would be. It retails for $14.99. So, you know, for $15, I do think there are better concealer brushes out there. I think the bristles there's too many of them. I think it needs to be a little flatter shape and have less bristles. Yeah, I'm not wild about this one. However, Real Techniques has a far better concealer brush. It's called a pointed foundation brush. I would not use this for foundation. It's so little, it would cover no surface area. But it is great for concealer. It's already a triangular shape, but it's more of a flat shape, like I said, that I wish the other one was. And it's awesome for getting right up under there. I actually use this in my freelance kit. I just grabbed it out of my brush thing, because this is what I use to really like spread out the concealer. Then I'll grab my beauty blender, go in and blend it out. So Real Techniques makes a far better concealer brush. It's this one. Ignore that it's called foundation brush. So small, that's not a foundation brush. All right, so here is the 203 Tapered Shadow Brush. I would just call this a blending brush because that's exactly the shape of it. It is synthetic, so it's not going to blend as great as a natural hair brush would. This one is $12.99, so it's not crazy expensive. This one on Ulta actually has really great reviews, and I can see why. This one does a really nice job. It's very comfortable. I like the longer handle on this one for sure, because you do want to move your hand down the handle. Move your hand down the handle to really soften and diffuse color out. Really do like this one. There are other, you know, affordable versions of this brush out there, so it's certainly nothing I haven't seen before, but I do really like this, and I don't think Real Techniques has anything in their cheaper line that really compares to this, so I do recommend this Tapered Shadow Brush, but I'm just going to call it a blending brush because that's what it is. Okay, so in summary, I think the Real Techniques Bold Metals brushes are much more attractive than they are functional. I think you can save your money and spend it on their original core line. Those brushes are amazing. The only ones I really like and recommend in this are the 100 powder brush and the 203 blending brush. That's what I'm calling it. So I hope this review's been helpful. I thank you guys for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.